I wonder what it must have been like to have an older brother that was just incredibly popular. I mean, even to the point that when you walk up and introduce yourself to someone, they say, "Hey, aren't you the brother of so and so?" I mean, ultimately, you would find that people are more interested in your brother than they are you, which makes a lot of sense that because of his brother's popularity, there would have been some anger that was common in, civil rivalry. But certainly his brother wasn't universally loved. He was hated by the religious leaders. And yet you find that when his brother was on trial and even at his execution, he wasn't there. At his brother's death, he's looking down at the crowd and he says to his friends, not his brother, not his family, but just friends, he says, "Take care of my mother." Like he wasn't good enough to take care of his own mom. But somewhere along the line, he has this moment. And we're really not told about this moment, but without a doubt, he had one. I mean, it's the moment that he recognized that all the claims that his brother Jesus had made were true. For there he was, raised from the dead. After that moment, James dedicated himself to his older brother Jesus. His dedication to his brother ultimately led him on a path to be known to the church in all the known world. And so he writes them. And the essence of what he writes was, I think, sums up like this. Association is not the same as dedication. He knew, even at the beginning of the church, that people would be more interested in being associated to Jesus rather than being dedicated to Jesus. He really writes that true faith is demonstrated by what we are, how we live, and what we do. That knowing what Jesus said is different than doing what Jesus said. I want you to calibrate this week by reading or listening through the book of James while thinking about what it must have been like to grow up with Jesus. So until next week, remember, don't take life as it comes, calibrate and shape it as you go. Thank you for following Calibrate. Share it with someone you know. Take a moment and review us and give us a good rating on iTunes, Google Play, Facebook, or YouTube.